Thank you for being here. There's so many people here today who's attending the live webinar. So thank you so much. John used to be my student and now he even surpassed me with his success. I specifically invited John to be here today just to inspire everybody who wants to listen that there's a lot of opportunity in Amazon, right? As I've said, for those of you who attended my mastermind, arbitrage is the stepping stone, but there's a lot of other opportunities out there. And today we're going to hear it directly from John, what he's been doing and how did he start. So the way we're going to do the live Q&A today is I'm going to start first asking him of how he started, about arbitrage, how he scaled his business. And then now, because he's also doing wholesale and brand direct, we can ask him also questions about that. Also, for those of you who doesn't know it yet, John already have his own warehouse and he also do prepping for Amazon sellers. I want to ask him about that as well because there's some of you who send message to me to inquire about that. And if you guys have questions, please type it in the chat box. So I prepare several questions for John today that you guys ask me to ask. But aside from that, then I have my own some questions as well. Hi, John.
Hi everyone, hello Posho.
Okay, thank you for allowing us to interview you. So you are basically the proof that Amazon works. And even if I interviewed you two times already for my YouTube channel before, again, I want to invite you because sometimes we need to inspire newbies, especially those who are new in Amazon selling, that it's possible, right? So sometimes we give up too easily and then we say that, oh, it doesn't work. But here you are, living testament that Amazon selling can actually give you so much opportunity. Okay, so John, please introduce yourself. Tell us if you're doing full-time, part-time in Amazon selling.
Yeah, my name is John and I've been doing Amazon for 2 years now. And ever since I started, I pretty much just did it full time. And now I have 5 teams that's working under me. I have two virtual assistants and then two logistic people that would prep for my products. And what I would just do is pretty much take care of all the important aspect of the business.
Just so you know, John, how old are you?
My age is 22.
Wow. So that's one of the most amazing part of him is because at a young age he already know how to run a business. That's amazing for me. I told John earlier before we went live that his parents must be so proud of him. And I think I asked him, how did you end up having this business sense? And John, how did you end up becoming a business person at a young age?
From a young age, I have just been like watching my dad. He had a lot of business in the Philippines, and every time he would go to like different places, I would just be with him and I would just watch him, and that's how I learned from with pretty much like taking care of the business and like working with other people as well.
So, guys, so that's a proof that whatever we're doing now, if you are doing it at home, you are also not just doing it for yourself, but for your kids as well. So, if they see you working on your business, working for yourself as well, you are, inspiring your kids as well that maybe someday they would be just like you, right? And you know that yes, business is riskier, but to be honest, business have more chance of success as compared to being an employee. So I think that's the best gift we can give to our kids. Okay, so you said that you did full time right away, right? So
That's
you
correct.
never worked for anybody, so you did full time right away. So when you were starting, what did you do in the beginning to make you hit the 39,000 a month? I remember the first interview I had with you, you had 39,000 per month monthly sales right away within 4 months. So what did you do in the beginning to scale up your business as fast as that?
Yeah, pretty much how I scaled my business really fast is I already have the capital. And yeah, because before doing Amazon, I was reselling shoes and I made like a good amount of money for that and pretty much have experience already with selling online. So I took advantage of that. And what happened was like the shoe market died down and I wanted to switch from consumer to consumer of them wanting products. But then I thought about Amazon. People wants to buy products on Amazon because they need and want And now that how I scaled up pretty much is like focusing on one brand, which is Nike. I was already selling it before, and I already know that Nike was doing great on Amazon, and that's how I scaled up it quickly. It's just by selling Nike products alone, and that's how I automatically ungated on every other brand as well. But
Okay,
it's pretty
so
much like capital.
yeah, so did you do ungating in the beginning, like right away? Because I know that Nike will not be allowed for a newbie. So you never sold any like groceries or anything like that. You went straight to what you know, which is Nike. So you just get ungated with that, and that's how you scale up your business.
That's correct. I ungated Nike because with that as well, I already know like few stores and I have connections with them. So they gave me the correct invoice instead of just online confirmation. And that's how I got ungated quickly from before.
Okay, so without selling anything yet, you went to get ungated and you got approved, right?
That's correct. That's
Okay.
how I would also get good discounted pricing. It's just by pretty much working with them. And yeah, that's what I highly recommend as well. If you're doing arbitrage, do a mom and pop shop method. You're pretty much making connections with the stores. And if the pricing doesn't work in your end, then just let them know this, I can't do this. Please give me a better pricing to where it's profitable to sell on Amazon.
Very good idea. I thought that before on, I think so for wholesale, if you're doing wholesale, one of the ways to do it is actually instead of getting a supplier, the first wholesale way you can do it is tying up with the mom and pop store where it means that, whatever store near your place. So for example, if it's your Asian, so maybe there's Asian store out there that they're retailers, but then they can allow you to buy in bulk, and then you can just get a discount, more discount, because you're buying to them in bulk directly. That's a good way to do it. Okay, so you said you focus on gating, so with you it's a must, right? So did you ever have any, like for the Nike, did you focus only on shoes, or did you have varieties of Nike products?
For Nike, it works differently here in the Canadian market, which is Amazon
Mm-hmm.
Canada, compared to Amazon USA. For USA, the market there's 10 times better than here. For shoes, I never really focused on it. I just focused on like clothing, which is like buying Nike socks because that's what like it was like great mover from before. Pretty much just focus on that. I had 10 to 20 ASINs on that product alone, and it was like pretty much like generating me around like 39,000 to 50,000 monthly.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I pretty much controlled the market in terms of selling Nike products on Amazon Canada, but now that it's kind of oversaturated, it's not great in my opinion to sell Nike anymore.
Anymore. Okay. So basically you went on the ride when it was not that popular yet. But would you mind telling us like how much is your startup capital for this? Because of course, so with you reaching 39K right away, I think that's a lot of capital right away.
Yeah, for my first business, I generated about 50K in savings from that. Then what I
Mm-hmm.
did was like starting out on Amazon, pretty much put half of it all on Amazon, which is 25K, and that's how I grew it.
And for you, it seemed like because you are already a business person, so you took the risk, right?
That's correct.
You did not hesitate to invest because you know that it works. I guess that's how, because if you're not sure of the business, for sure you're not going to invest your 25,000 right away. But for you, you feel like it will work for you. So you end up spending. So did you go deep right away? Like, for example, instead of buying three, did you buy 10 or 20 right away per ASIN?
No, I did not do that because I know because I was still new at Amazon, and what I did first was learn how to read the Keepa graph, making sure that the product moves well, and afterwards that I would do a test trial in a within a month. For example, if it's currently doing 100 monthly sold on Amazon, I would pretty much calculate how much I would buy based on how many seller there is, and then after a month, that's when I would know how much I would go deep and pretty much just buy like a month worth of stock.
So with you
But never
maximum
go
of a
deep.
month, yeah, maximum of 1 month. So that's a very good advice because a lot of people they think they need to buy right away so much and then they get burned when the listing tank down. So talking about software, okay, so you mentioned Keepa. So with you when you were starting, what is the software that you invest on?
So the software that I invested on first was obviously Keep because that's the backbone of the business for Amazon. And then the next thing is the calculator, which what I use by now and what I use to this day is Celeramp. And I use
Mm-hmm.
that as well to find products. And another thing is Celibird. I never really used Celibird from the very beginning, but then when I know I was scaling up, I had to use it to know how much I'm actually profitable. Then that's pretty much it. If you're like a beginner software, that's all you really need. And then if you have like more SKU or more ASIN, then I highly recommend using Repricer. If not, it's not really recommended. You can just do it on your own. But yes, if you have a lot of ASINs, then use Repricer. So you save time with instead of just changing the pricing manually on your own.
So as a beginner too, so what are the common mistake you did? Is there anything mistake that you did that you feel like new sellers right now should learn from it?
The mistake that I did from the very beginning was not recording everything. So that's pretty much recording all your invoicing, your product. Example, like if the product you have right now that you bought is profitable, and then the next month or two it price tank, then make sure to record or have a Google sheet for price tank. So if you have that price tank Google sheet, you can always record like where you bought it, what's the ASIN, how much you bought it for. Then always check on it like monthly, I mean weekly, monthly, because that's every time you buy a product, that's always a lead that you can always replenish if the price is okay or like it's not price tanking anymore. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's
And
like the very yeah, pretty much like always record everything on your business.
yeah, so
Mhm.
I think especially now that the price, like the inflation is crazy, that's one thing that I would advise also most of the sellers now is that each time that you need to purchase, you need to recalculate, right? Because you don't know if it, when I was new in Amazon selling, like prices don't change for years. Like it's the same every year. If it changes, basically because there's a sale and it goes down, but it never goes up. But now that's one thing that I'm realizing, like it's real, like the inflation, like it goes up so crazy every few months, right? That's one thing that you can. Okay, so how about, is there any chance, any time in your Amazon selling career that there's some low months and stuff like that, like the sales are low, and what keeps you motivated if there's low months like that? What keeps you motivated to sell? Like for example, you're having issues with Amazon, what made you not quit, basically?
From the very beginning, I was just relying on my why. The reason is, oh, I have to succeed in this business, right? To have a better life. But now, as a business person with having a team on my back, I don't rely anymore on motivation because motivation is just temporary, right? But I mostly rely on being disciplined and consistent because at the end of the day, if I'm on, like, if the sales are low or that I'm at my lowest, I still have to show up because at the end of the day, I have a team that is working under me. If I break down as a founder and a CEO, they will suffer as well because the business will break down because no one will manage the business at that point. But yeah,
Very basically your team is making you more accountable now as compared to before, right?
that's correct.
Yeah. What do you have a biggest challenge that you ever encounter with Amazon that you almost give up on it as well?
No, not really, because from everything with my Amazon journey, I didn't really have any setback or challenges because as long as you do everything right, example like making sure that the supplier that you bought from is legit, they're out, and you're always recording your invoicing. If section 3 happens, then you have the proof. If product authenticity compliant happens, you have everything you need from all the recording that you did. That's why I said from the very, if you're still a beginner, always record everything that you do on Amazon, like from invoicing and your what product you're buying from.
That's very true. So that's a really good advice, actually. So if you are, so I always tell students not to cut corners, right? Because some people, what they do is like just to make money. So they're thinking more is more, oh, this will make me more profit or this will make me more money. But then they're cutting corners. And I think that's where it happens that you get in trouble because you're cutting corners. But
That's correct.
if you are following, because you are selling on Amazon, you need to follow their rules and stick with that, then you will be okay. Because I've been in the business for 7 years and I never got suspended because I don't cut corners. I will make sure that If it doesn't, it's not working out, if it's against the, I don't do it. If you are starting today, so what would you do differently? Say, is there anything that you would change when you were starting that you wish you did, or you're okay with all the progress that you had?
Yeah, I'm satisfied with the progress that I had because my progress, I scaled up gradually to what I was expecting before. Because I thought I would scale this business within 5 years, but I'm happy with where I'm at within doing this business for 2 years.
Wow. I'm so
Hmm.
proud of you, John, of where you are. And I think that's what it is, right? The teacher is there to help you, to give you the knowledge. But at the end of the year, it's at the end of the day, actually, it's your job to make your business successful. You can get the knowledge from everybody, but you are responsible for your action, right? So with you, then let's, before we stop with talking about arbitrage. So for those of you, for those newbies, so what is your advice to them? For those who are starting, what is your advice to them?
If you have a mentor or you know someone in this business, it's great to connect to them. And yeah, always be hungry with curiosity, because what I would do from the very beginning is always ask questions. If I don't know that I know I'm doing something right or wrong, I would just ask people that I know, and they would just pretty much give me all the answers. But yeah, it's just ask questions because that's how you will scale the business too.
Yeah, and the
Hmm.
beautiful part of this digital world now is that there's so many teachers out there that can help you. And before, the traditional way of making money is you go to university, you learn for 4 years, and then you try get certification to make sure that you're okay, and then you get the job. So now I was telling my husband, like, wow, it's amazing how we can just get all the knowledge that we really need. Like, you teach arbitrage, I'll get the knowledge from you. You teach wholesale, I'll get the knowledge from you. You teach private label, you teach about real estate, I'll get the knowledge from you. And then you can execute as fast as you can. You don't need to wait 4 years. You can make a lot of money without waiting for certification or to tell you that you need permission to be able to practice what you learn, right? So I think that's the reason why there's also a lot of young generation now who are millionaires, because they don't do the traditional way anymore. And I guess for you guys, for all of you who are here, I'm so proud that, even if it's scary, you don't know, or you're brand new in the digital world, you are actually willing to learn, willing to venture, spend your money for learning. Okay, so let's move on to wholesale, John. So at what point did you decide that you want to do wholesale?
I'm sorry, someone's calling. So at what point I started doing wholesale is when I have everything that I need. I'm already like knowledgeable with everything in terms of Amazon. I'm selling on Amazon. I'm sorry, someone just calling me right now. But yeah, I pretty much like in terms of switching from arbitrage to wholesale is when I know I wanted to do wholesale long term, because for arbitrage it's not really sustainable because product comes and go. But for wholesale, if you're working like brand direct, if you open up an account with them, all you really need to do is just replenish products. That's it.
So with
But
you,
yeah,
did
that's
you,
what made me want to switch.
yeah, did
Hmm.
you continue with the Nike, or because that's the one that you found first. Did you continue on that category, or you start exploring of whatever you can find for wholesale?
Yeah, so when I was doing arbitrage, I was primarily selling Nike, I think 80% of my products. But then when I did wholesale, I pretty much explored on every category that I know of and started opening accounts. And once I started opening accounts within those category, I started focusing on those category afterwards that.
I see. Okay. So you mentioned about your team, right? So did you have your team when you were still doing the arbitrage, or you start only building the team when you end up starting doing wholesale?
With my team, I have my first virtual assistant ever since I started doing arbitrage. So after doing arbitrage for 3 months, that's when I pretty much know everything about how to sell on Amazon, how to read the Keepa graph, how to use all the software that I'm currently using right now, and then trained my virtual assistant from that, and then delegated all my sourcing from sourcing for arbitrage and all the admin tasks. All I was doing, which is like buying products, right? And when I wanted to do wholesale, that's when I pretty much like added more teams from doing the sourcing to them outreaching for me.
Okay. How did you set up your team? Did you hire relatives? Did you go to professional website like Upwork or anything like that? And how did you end up also meeting your partner? So maybe that's a good topic to talk about.
So yeah, for my first virtual assistant, I hired them from Upwork. And then the second one, I just hired my relatives because they're from the Philippines. Because for outreaching, I pretty much just teach them how to do it, and it was easy just sending emails. And yeah, like I also have a team for like logistic, which is they're like the one in charge prepping for me, and I had them from the very beginning. And still hired another like prep center. I mean prep center, another we call
Prepper?
this prepper for me. Like we have two prepper right now because the first one couldn't handle everything, and we're always like delayed and
Mhm.
backed up backlog. But yeah,
Oh, so with you, you never use a prep center. You actually hired somebody right away to help you prep the
mhm.
products, and then you scale up until you end up having a warehouse, right?
That's correct. Yeah, because we wanted to do everything on our own. Because my I have a partner right now. He's in charge of the prep center and also
Mm-hmm.
in charge of. He's also a salesperson in my company. He pretty much outreach as well
Mm-hmm.
and source brand to outreach. But yeah, he's like all around person for me.
Yeah.
Because he
So,
from the go ahead.
no, go ahead. That's okay.
Yeah, so from the very beginning, from every business that I would venture to, I would just pretty much let him know, oh, are you down to do this? And he's always down. And now he's like working for me full time.
Wow, that's so cool. So, is that your friend or relative?
That's correct. He's my friend.
Oh, wow. So you're lucky because you have basically, right, as somebody that you can rely on who's also willing to try things with you, right? So with you,
Mhm.
with setting up the team, what are the specifics? So with you said you have five. Can you give us the specific of what do they do for your business now?
So for my first virtual assistant, he's pretty much in charge of taking care of all the admin tasks for Amazon. So that's making sure that the account stays healthy, and then if there is any problem with the shipment, he would take care of that with making sure that we get reimbursed. We used to have seller investigator, but they would take 25% of however much they get reimbursed. But now like she knows how to do it properly, or like how, yeah, she knows how like the ins and out of it. She can like I gave that job to her, and then I completely caught up seller investigator. She's also in charge of now that we're doing wholesale, right? We don't
Hmm.
do arbitrage anymore. She was sourcing products for me before, but then we transitioned from sourcing products to sourcing brands. She's now in charge of sourcing brand, getting their contact information, making the research report, and then it would get passed down to my other virtual assistant, which is she's the one taking care of the outreaching and making sure that the our email is always organized and yeah, organized. And if there is someone that responded from those outreach, then it's my job to actually take over and talk to them and communicate with opening the wholesale account.
Okay, so
Now, mhm.
just to be clear, because for some people who doesn't have any clue about wholesaling, so basically the first step that you do, which is with your first assistant, is to for her to scout for as much account as they can, right? Look at the internet to see what are the possible wholesale company out there, and then the next one, the other assistant, is the one who's going to secure all the emails, contact number, and everything, and you are in charge to contact them directly to try to open the account, correct?
No, I don't contact them because that's just like something that I can delegate. It's just that whenever those prospect responded to us, that's my job to actually respond to them.
I
Hmm.
see. Okay, so she's the one who's emailing or calling. The second virtual assistant is the one who's doing all those work, and then you're the one on if there's issue, then you will take over the account if they
That's
respond to
correct.
you. Okay,
That's correct.
got it. And then the two more people is more for the logistics, which is prepping and shipping, right? Wow.
Hmm. Correct.
So
Mhm.
you build an amazing team, and I think you're really off to a really big opportunity, John. And with everything that you're learning, little learnings that go, it must be like it might be hard for you in the beginning to not having knowledge about little things like FDA and everything like that. But once you master it, you have a skill that even if Amazon is gone, you can always have a business out of it. So that's the beauty of that Amazon can be just a stepping stone for you to be able to build a long-term business for you. Okay, some are asking here, oh, do you have any horror story about a VA, or you're always good with your VA?
I never had a horror story from with VA because the first one I ever hired, pretty much that's the one that's I've been. I mean, she's the virtual assistant till now. So it's pretty much I don't have difficulty of trusting because if I hire you, I pretty much fully trust you already at that point. I don't micromanage because yeah, I don't micromanage. I pretty much let them do with whatever they want to do. And but if do see something wrong, I'm always like great with calling them out.
I
Yeah.
guess we're very similar. Do you do like weekly meetings, or you just let them be as long as they're doing their job? Or what do you do with them?
For weekly meeting, I only do weekly meeting if it needs if we have something to discuss, because if not, it's just a waste of time for me and for the virtual assistant as well. But then if there is something we need to talk about or there's a project that we are working on, we would just set those meeting up.
Yeah, so I think that's smart. So the key is to train the VA right at the beginning, proper way of doing it so you don't need to keep on correcting them. So I think that's what it comes down to that. Okay, so some people are very curious about your wholesale company, your business model, which is wholesale. Some are asking, when contacting a distributor or manufacturer to open an account, what are the example? For example, they're not even a year. So do you think they're going to have a chance to open an account, or would you suggest for them to be at least 1 year in the business to be able to do it? How do business distributors can give you a chance even if you're new on in the business?
So here, this is a great tips if you guys want to do wholesale or like brand direct. First thing first is wholesale. If you're outreaching the brand, it's not transactional based. It's more into relationship, okay? And then for distributor, it's more transaction. Like distributor, I mean, it's like they're buying it from brand direct. And so if you're contacting brand direct, don't ever introduce yourself as you are an Amazon seller. If you say that right away, they're completely just gonna end the call. Or if you email them, they're just gonna ignore you. What they want is that are you gonna help their business grow? And what I mean by helping their business grow is you're not just selling the product, you're also offering the services. What I mean by offering services is like advertising. Are you gonna advertise it on Amazon? Are you gonna optimize their listing like make their listing better from before and add more products on Amazon, and also maintaining their brand integrity? What I mean by brand integrity is that, example, like if you sell on Amazon, right, you can just price however much you want, and Amazon brand direct doesn't usually like that. They want to make sure that you're following their map pricing. And map pricing is example like this product right here is their policy is $10. Make sure to never go below that, because if you go below that, you're pretty much breaking their brand integrity. And that's what Amazon seller always do, like break brand integrity, and then consumer would always complain about it, how it's overpriced or it's underpriced, and then it would just pretty much be bad for on their side. But yeah, that's my suggestion. Don't tell them that you are an Amazon seller.
Yeah,
Just
so
let them know you're.
basically to let them know that you're gonna give them value, so that you
Mhm.
are there to help them to give value. So I have a question for you. You mentioned about fixing the listing. So when you are fixing, you're not gonna be the main lister of the listing, right? So there's already a lot of listings on Amazon that we can just use. So how do you improve the listing? So does Amazon allow you to edit it? Do you ask permission from them? Because I know that usually the one who create the listing is the one who can edit it right away on their end, right?
That's correct. They can give you the brand registry, and that brand registry can give you access with filing section to the IP compliant, and also in the user permission. I think I forgot about it, but like they can give you access to edit the listing. If it's
So
like, go ahead.
who is giving you the brand registry? The
The
Amazon
brand
or the
themselves.
brand? and then because they already have record in on Amazon, so they will give you a proof that you are the one who are allowed to sell, or is that how it works?
First thing first is that the brand has to be registered on the brand registry for Amazon.
Mm.
Once they are registered, then they can give you it through user permission. I'm sure you know this, but like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
through user permission, invite the person that they want to invite on brand registry.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing as well on Amazon Central. On Amazon Central, there's an user permission that they you can invite a person to edit the listing and add listing as well.
I see. And then that's how you can already edit.
That's correct.
Okay. Wow, that's a very good information. Actually, guys, you guys are getting so much information for free from John. So much good
Yeah.
advices, right? Because this one you pay for thousands of dollars for this. I tell
That's
you guys. So,
correct.
so with you, how much did you spend already on just courses trying to learn Amazon?
You won't believe it's 30K.
30K. See, you
Yes,
guys should
because
know. Yes, John.
so for this brand direct, I paid like 7K, but just to get one information alone, like with importing and having connection, I paid like 8K from that alone, just for a 5 minutes like information. Like a
I
quick
know.
information. It's crazy.
But that's what you invest on, right? I think a lot of people here don't know how information I've been giving them. So with me, I think I'm the cheapest in Canada actually, with one
Hmm.
year support before and everything. The information that you're getting, people are paying thousands of it. So you guys should be very use it on your advantage, okay? That you're given. Just because it's cheap, you got it for cheap doesn't mean that it's also less valuable. It's very valuable. What you're getting is really good information. And thank you, John, again for being here. Okay, let me see. Did you create a website? So you're saying, so you're brand new, right? So you said that you don't tell anything. So do you present them with a website to show that you are actually professional? Is there, based on your experience, does it matter that you create a website for example, as a selling website or just a website in general for your store,
So
for
yeah,
your company?
if you're doing wholesale and not just arbitrage, you have to set up all your back end. That's pretty much your corporation, the website, and also having a business bank account and also a proper business address. For the website, the route that because there's two routes of doing that. You're pretty much like faking it till you make it. And what I mean by faking it till you make it is having a website that's a retail store, but you're not actually selling products in there. It's just a website to show for the brand or distribution that you actually have an e-commerce store. And that's how you would ask open an account. You're gonna pitch to them that you have an e-commerce store, you're gonna sell here, and then that's when you'll get the account and then pretty much sell on Amazon. And then another one is having an info website. You're pretty much telling them everything that you do. You're an e-commerce, you not an e-commerce store, but also e-commerce that provides services. And you'll let them know like what services you provide within in that website, and then pretty much like the brand or the distributor will take a look at it, and that's when like you'll open doors.
Yeah, so actually, I just taught that on the mastermind. They're so lucky because you attended my mastermind, right? I focus on arbitrage, and this Q4, I gave them the whole thing for wholesale, which is what you're talking about now and what to do. And I think basically, you're just saying whatever I said to them as well. So you
Wow.
guys, now you know that what I told you yesterday, yeah, yesterday was wholesale. That actually, here it is. John is a confirmation. That's how it works, right? You need, so for you, do you think it's a must to create the two websites, or it's okay to just have one website? If there's one website, which one would you advise them to have?
For me, the route that I went was like the info website. I never created a fake website because at the end of the day, you're there to build relationship with them, especially if you're working with a brand. Because if you're
Mm-hmm.
honest, then it'll have a fruitful relationship. But then
Yeah.
if you're dishonest, they caught you that you're selling on Amazon, you're not actually selling on that fake website, then they'll just pretty much cut you off.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So with you, you're now doing brand direct. Can you explain a little bit more? Maybe other people don't know like what brand direct means, like for them to understand what does it mean by brand direct? Is it also a wholesale? How does it work?
When working with brand direct, you're pretty much buying from the brand for wholesale pricing. So there's three stages: brand direct, distribution, and then reseller. and reseller is us. But then if you buy from brand direct, you pretty much skip the distribution. You buy from brand direct, you get better pricing as well. But then if you buy from distribution, that distribution buy from brand direct.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you have plan to do a private label?
No, we're thinking about it. It's just that I don't have time for it.
Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
another set of skill that you need to learn, right? And I think that's the hardest way because you really need to start from the scratch, which a lot like the chance of success is really slim and unless you really know the in and out of Amazon selling and also on how to market your product. How do you find your supplier? Give them some tips on how to find wholesale company to tie with. What's your if you don't need to reveal everything if you don't want, but just give you an idea. So do you just go to Google and search for it? Do you attend any, events and stuff like that?
How we would find suppliers using Smart Scout now. First thing first is we would find like profitable products, right? And then we would filter out that Smart Scout with making sure that two or three sellers are selling the products, because that
Mm.
makes us sure that it's not private label. Or another thing is there's no exclusivity who's selling that products. And then afterwards, that's when we would find the brand contact information. Can't really give you on the software of what we use because we just figured this out, and yeah, we don't want it to get saturated. But
Mm.
yeah, afterwards that's when we just contact them and outreach, and that's it.
So Smart Scout is another software, but for beginner, it's too expensive. How much is Smart Scout now?
We were paying like $100 USD from before, but
Okay.
now you can pretty much use it for 45, I think, to 35.
Oh,
I
it
forgot how
got
much the
cheaper.
subscription. Yeah, because like it's by here, right? But us, if you're just doing like Amazon Canada and outreaching to Canada, then I highly recommend just getting the $35 monthly or
Mm-hmm.
45. I don't know the pricing, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
But so
Mhm.
basically what you do is you open as much account as you can and then but not all will gonna be, allowing you to open an account with them. And then so
Mhm.
how many accounts do you have and how many are actually you're using to sell
Right.
from them?
So right now we opened I think around like 20 accounts, and then five of them wasn't really great in terms of, because even though you open the account, right, they still wouldn't give you that pricing. I mean, there's a high chance that the pricing that they're giving you is not profitable on Amazon. But yeah, for those like accounts, we didn't really want to work with them because they weren't budging, they weren't negotiating with better pricing for us to sell on
Mm-hmm.
Amazon. Then like 15 of them, we actually have a better pricing, which is what we are working with. But yes, we're working with like 15 accounts right now, and that's all brand direct.
And how much is the minimum order price? Like for you to be able to get that really good pricing, how much do you invest per?
So the minimum just like to just buy from them, it's just I think like 2,000 to 5,000, but like every purchase order that we make is at around 2,000 for just a smaller account. For the
Mm-hmm.
big one, the minimum is I think like 10K.
10K.
And if 10K, but if you want to have a better pricing, it depends on how many units. If you buy, I think like around like 1,000 to 2,000, then they would give you better pricing though.
Okay,
But
so
yeah,
with you, based on your experience, does most wholesale company actually have higher MO price like to purchase or you can actually open an account to with just for example, okay, you can purchase 500 or 1000 or it usually are like with higher minimum order.
yeah, because like with this brand that we're talking to right now, they want us to buy like around 150K.
Mm,
That's like the
wow.
value, right? And the brand is doing really great though. Because like with brand direct, I mean with arbitrage, right? If you're doing arbitrage, always buy in a minimum of 1 month. With
Mhm.
brand direct, if we're not exclusive, then we would just buy like maximum 3 months of the product. But there's other authorized seller that's selling the product. But if we are exclusive, we would buy at like potentially like 3 months to 12 months for the purchase order.
Yeah.
But
So the
like,
one that we're
mhm.
talking about today, I'm not going to mention the brand for now, but that's the one that's asking you for 150K instant order. Oh no,
No,
that
like
different.
we just bought like 10K purchase order from them. This is just a test trial as well. Because like after
Mm-hmm.
the test trial, because like we just finished the test trial, right? The next
Mm-hmm.
one we're probably gonna be doing like 50K to 100K purchase order from them.
So
Mhm.
with that, how do you get your funding?
The funding from Amazon. A lot of money on Amazon. Then with the funding, what I'm doing right now is I have a relative that wants to invest in my company, gave them like 10% annually on it. I mean, I give them like a return of 10% and they would just invest however much money they want. Yeah,
Wow, that's amazing. So you're lucky to have that. Just make sure to give them back the money no matter what, or the
that's true.
relationship will gonna be in trouble, right? So with that, okay, how much did you make last year, 2024, on Amazon? How much sales? And more or less, how much is your profit? I'm
I think
curious.
sales, we made around like 600 to 800K in sales for the annual, but that was just us doing arbitrage. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
we're doubling to tripling it.
Doubling to tripling it. Wow. Okay, last month, I want to ask you, last month, how much sales did you made already? Like, how much
Last month,
sales
we did 125K, but like we broke our records like yesterday. We did, I think, 12K
a
in
day?
sales, and then, yep, and in net profit was like 3.4K. I can show it to you right now
Oh my
if you can.
goodness. So guys, so see, this is super amazing because not a lot of people like you would see in flesh saying, a lot of
But
people
here,
will say,
wait, oh, you
wow.
can't see it. But yeah, I'm not sure if you can see it, but
Yeah, so
12K
that's
and then,
seller board. It's a proof that sky is the limit on Amazon. So whatever money you want to make, you can make unlimited as long as you know what you're doing. So what you need to do is just find the right teacher for you to teach you on how to do it properly. So John, I think, is really lucky to be able, well, it's not luck because I believe that John work hard for this. If you can see, I don't think that you take a day off, right? Do you take a day off?
before I wasn't taking a day off. Now I'm primarily just going to the warehouse like 5 a.m., leaving at 6 p.m. Then that's during Monday to Friday, right? And then just taking one day up on Sunday.
Good for
And
you. Good for you. Like you're 22, you're so disciplined, you do your work. Everybody's still sleeping at 5. So that's the reason why you're succeeding, John, is because you put on the work. Those people who say that it's not working is because they don't put their work. They ship next week and then the week after they don't. They do a little bit of product research and then they would say that it doesn't work, but they don't actually put the work. So with you also start small, right? Like when you're in the beginning, is there a chance when you also saying, "Oh, I can't find a product"? Is there a moment during when you were new that you're trying to do Keepa, trying to look for products, and there you're frustrated because you also can't find anything profitable?
so like from the beginning, when I started selling on Amazon, pretty much focus on Nike, right? And those Nike
Mm-hmm.
products was generating me good income. But then I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to explore on other product as well. And while I was trying to do storefront stocking or like the method of sourcing, I would just find like one product within just sourcing like 3 to 4 hours or even 8 hours a day. But yeah, like even though like you're in that route, if you keep building your products and recording them, like it will be easy to actually source product from there, because once you have that product that you recorded right away, you can always just go back to them and check if they're profitable or not. If not, then you don't buy it. If it is, then you already have it in hand.
Yeah. Okay. So,
So build your like
wow.
lid list.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
basically, it becomes a lead list. So someone is asking, is that a net profit or gross profit, like the 3.5K a day?
That's like net profit within that day,
Mm-hmm.
but with our expense on Amazon, with our to maintain the business, it's around like 7 to 10,000.
Seven to
Mhm.
10,000. So after a month. So if you sold 125K a month, that's just the gross sale. And then the profit is 3.5K and in a day. So that's three. So almost, wow, that's a lot. I'm thinking of the numbers. That's a lot. Okay. It says here, how do you resolve IP violation when the brand owner refuses to give you an LOA? Did you ever have a problem like that? Did you ever get hit with issue with problem with the listing and then that you need to resolve it?
Yeah, that's why I said like the common mistake of new arbitrage sellers, they're not recording. Because the very beginning when I wasn't doing brand direct, I don't have the LOA, I don't have connection with the brand. This brand, I think Nivea or Nivea, I don't know how to pronounce it, but
Mm-hmm.
they hit us with Section 3. And how they hit us with Section 3 was I bought it through retail, so they gave you would get the receipt.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I recorded that. submitted to Amazon, and they quickly removed it.
So you just show the receipt. You
That's
show
correct.
the receipt, and this is when I purchase it. And then did you show, bank statement or anything like that to prove that you purchased
Yeah,
it?
I did show my bank statement because they were refusing it. Once I showed that bank statement,
Mm-hmm.
it did. I don't know the process now because that was a long time ago. Now I think they're just accepting invoices. But yeah, now with Section 3, we never have to really deal with it because with us working with the brand direct, it's either us filing Section 3 to other sellers to be 100% transparent with you, or
Yes.
we are never getting hit by Section 3 because they already know that we're selling on Amazon and we're authorized seller.
And are you
Mhm.
just selling now? Like, you never expand to US, right? You're completely just Amazon Canada.
That's correct. Yeah, but we're thinking like right now we're working on a project of expanding in the US.
Wow, that's amazing how you can make so much money just in Amazon. And a lot of comments out there or in reels or whatever, they always say, "Oh, Amazon in Canada is small, you won't make money out of it." But look at that, John. You really are amazing. Anyway, okay, let me just ask. Okay, so one question they have, so how do you handle cash flow when scaling quickly?
I never really had problem with cash flow, but the best, smartest way is to not go too deep if you're doing arbitrage. So if you're doing arbitrage, right, like always buy like within 1 month of stocks or even less if you can. And yeah, because that's how you like example, like you sell within those 1 month, you can just buy again with another month instead of buying like 3 months, then you're stuck with that products and you can't reinvest it to other products. But yeah, be smart with your buying purchases and how many unit you should buy.
Yeah, very smart advice. Okay, so now let's move on. Okay, so I'm gonna read the questions later, guys. I just want to ask John today about his new venture, which is the prep center. Tell us about your new venture. I know that you did you have the warehouse before you even decide that you're gonna do some prepping as well, or you just
So
got it when you started?
I we got the warehouse because we primarily got it for a reason with opening brand direct account. Example, only brand direct account will take you seriously if you actually have a warehouse that you own, or you can either fake it by having a prep center and then let them know that you own the warehouse, right? And sometimes brand would tell you, okay, take a picture of the warehouse for fruit. And luckily, we have a warehouse. Showed it to them. We opened the brand direct account. But yeah, that's the primary reason why we got the warehouse. It
I
wasn't for
see.
prep center.
Wow. So that means that if you will really do brand direct, you need to have the capital and invest first in the beginning because you're going to have all these requirements that they want, right? So with the prep center, John, so can you tell us more about your prep center? Where are you located? Is there any lots of stores there? So especially for those who are starting and wants to do arbitrage in the beginning, is there a lot of places where they can actually purchase in your area?
Are you talking about retail arbitrage?
Yes, if they're gonna do retail arbitrage, right? So a lot of the my students are doing retail arbitrage because I focus on beginners. So if they're gonna use your prep center, is there a lot of places in the area where you can purchase?
That's yeah. Because like what you guys can do is just like buy from like the retail and then get it delivered to our warehouse. That's
Where
why
are you
like
located?
we're located in Grand Point, Manitoba, but it's pretty much just 5 minutes away from Winnipeg. And yeah, with working with us as well, we don't do Google Sheet. We have a software for our prep center. And why it's so great is that we have 2D barcode. So like you have to pay like in order to prep and have 2D barcode, we were paying like $95 monthly just so we can use it. But now with our prep center, you don't pay for subscriptions. You just pay with units of how much we're charging you, which is pretty much they're cheap. Because like with Prep Center nowadays, they would charge you I think like $1, but for us it's like we're doing a promo like 60 cents only per unit.
Wow. So actually, John's Prep Center, that's why I want to introduce it today because especially for those of you who are new, I think 60 cents is very cheap. You cannot find that price in anywhere. So what's the name of your prep center again, John? And do you have a website that they can go to check you out? Like how about pricing, email that they can reach you?
We don't have a website at the moment because we were just like focusing and just it was just through word of mouth and connections. And now that we're going public, then that's when the
You're gonna
project, I mean,
create.
the website is still in the process. Yeah,
Mm.
with contact information, we have our email like contact at highestprep.com. But and if you ever want to onboard with us, just let us know.
Okay. I actually there's some Eugenia here. She said that she live in Winnipeg and she wants to connect with you, visit to see the prep center. Are they
Mhm.
allowed to come and meet up with you to see the prep center before they start sending packages?
That's perfectly fine, yes. Because we're working with like 10 clients right now.
Mm.
And yeah, to reassure you as well, we're not gonna steal your package or your products and sell it on Amazon. We can write an NDA. And another thing as well with that is that we have experience with arbitrage. So it's easier for us to it's going to be easy for us to prep your products. And if you're arbitrage, we don't charge extra fee because other prep center charges like 50 cents extra if it's arbitrage product.
Yes,
But
and
yes,
also, so you don't have extra fee aside from the 60 cents except for the packing, like for example, polybag or whatever you need extra. But to, for example, I know that some prep center, they do have, for example, just to count it or that for the arbitrage, they need to charge per pallet or something like that. You don't
no.
have those. Wow, that's a good. How about how long can you process? So if they ship, like for example, everything is shipped today, how fast can you ship them to Amazon?
So as soon as we got the product in our warehouse, it usually take us around like 1 to 2 days turnaround time. Fastest is always one day. Yeah, one to
Wow.
two days. 1 to 2 days, that's correct.
Wow. So that's pretty quick. And also, are you okay with small orders? So for example, they're just starting, right? A lot of my students actually are just starting, so they only have few boxes a week. Are you okay with that to take? Because
Yeah,
some they don't entertain newbies.
yeah, we're completely fine with that because as ourselves, right, we just started from arbitrage from the humble beginning. So like we're even though like you're not doing anything or you haven't even started on Amazon, we can accept you fully.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And the process is, do you access the Seller Central also? Do you connect your website? You don't. So what's your process for your prep center? What's your process when, for example, with me, I'm gonna ask you to ship my product?
So I thought you meant like by user permission and add inviting them to the
Y-
user permission.
Yes,
We don't do that because from my knowledge as well and from my connection that I asked, if you connect your prep center, if you invite me to user
as a
permission
user.
and then there's like a chance that your account may be deactivated. So I don't recommend you guys doing that. Now that we have a prep center software, you just pretty much connect your account, you accept it, and then Amazon will know that you are connected with a prep center, so that IP address is
Mm,
safe for you to use.
I see. So with you, who creates the shipping plan? Is the client creating the shipping plan and then they give you the label? Is that how it works with your prep center? You know how, so we need to ship the product, right? So we need to create a shipping plan. So who creates the shipping plan? Because if you can't access my seller central, then I need to give you, because one of my prep center before in the US, that's what I did. So I don't, I just create the shipping plan, I give them the labels, and then after that, I give them they gave me the length, width, height, and then the weight of the box, and then I give them the shipping label. How does it work for you?
So once you are connected with our prep center software, we pretty much can take care of everything all on our own. That's from the shipping plan. You just make sure that like you have added the product on Amazon, right? And you're gated on
Mm-hmm.
it. So then all you really need to do is create an inbound shipment and let us know what's coming into our warehouse. And then we'll pretty much, if you want like us to do something specific, you can add it on that inbound shipment plan, stating that I want you to prep this way, or I want you to to Amazon with this amount of quantity, and then we'll pretty much take care of all the shipment plan, putting it on our system, putting the FNSQ, making the shipment, the tracking label, and then send it to Amazon.
Okay,
But
so
yeah,
it's very
we pretty
much
much take care of all
automated
of it.
already. Very
Mhm.
good. Wow, I'm impressed because that's a lot of, so I'm with Red Hat Prep, but it's pretty much the same. So with you guys are even cheaper. So that's amazing. So if you guys want to try John's, connect with him. I'm gonna give you the email address that we can give. Let me just ask you some questions. So there's questions for, let's start first with the prep center since we're already talking about it. Okay, in prepping, do you use a box that came from the brand or do you box it in with another box? So how does it work for you when do you reuse boxes?
We always reuse boxes if we're sending in a small amount of quantity. What I
Mm-hmm.
highly always recommend with our prep client is to save on shipping, is to build up that products that we would send on Amazon. If they agreed on that, we have no problem with storing your products in our warehouse. But then if you want us to send it on Amazon right away, you don't care about the shipping fee, then we'll just use your old boxes and then send it on Amazon.
I
And that's
see.
for free as well.
That's for free. Wow. A lot of free on your prep center. I think they're getting a lot of deals. Okay, so what's the name of your prep center? Someone's asking.
The name is Highest Prep, but we don't have a website again. If you want our contact information, I'll put it here.
Okay, I'll also post it
Uh-huh.
later on. Okay, can we have the address of the prep center? I live in Winnipeg, so I would like to visit one of these days. Would you still honor this price if we start next year? So they're not ready for
That's
center.
that's
Cannot guarantee.
I cannot guarantee that because there's a lot of client that wants to open with us because we're only doing this pricing because we still have room that we can prep your
Mm-hmm.
products, and our turnaround time will still be 1 to 2 days and still maintain that overhead expense with the warehouse and employee. That's why it makes sense for us to do 60 cents without having tier up, like example, like if we were to prep like 100 units only within a month,
Yeah.
we'll still get that tier up 60 cents.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. So can they bring the products to your warehouse personally? So basically drop off. Because some people they do RA and then they live in Winnipeg, so they want to just drop it off instead of them shipping it. Is that possible?
Yeah, you guys can always drop it up to our warehouse if you want to. But yeah, what I highly recommend as well is doing arbitrage because it's not labor work, it's easy, and pretty much all the products is online now too.
Yeah. So can I use your prep center even if I am located in Sherwood Park, Alberta?
Yeah, you can do that as long as you're just pretty much shipping it to us, right? Because the thing as well is with Prep Center, make sure that your shipping address is our address, and then your billing address, make sure it's in your business information. So whenever Amazon is asking for invoice, it's the invoice is recorded as your business information on Amazon, and that's your for your billing.
Yep. And also, what's going to happen, Donna, is that if you, for example, buying online, you put the postal code and delivery to John's address, what's going to happen is, for example, it's Walmart, they're going to ship it via the Walmart closest to John. So that's what happens. So it's always like no matter where you are, you can still ship to there. You can choose any location actually for prep center because they're going to use whatever is closest to the prep centers. Am I allowed to drop off? Yeah, it's answered already.
Yeah, do have some things to add as well. We also do Canada to Canada, USA to Canada. That's like you buying from the US. We have a drop application. Then we have a company that's we are working with in Winnipeg. They can just pick it up in Canada, I mean in the US, then drop it
Mm-hmm.
up to our warehouse, or you're buying from Canada and you're selling to the US. So we're like flexible with any marketplace
Mm-hmm.
that you want to
But
sell
but
to.
now with the tariff though, is there any changes? Do you need to pay? Because if you're buying from the US to Canada and also Canada to US, there's already a tariff fee that they need to pay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because we have some few clients that's figuring that out now too, because they're pretty much they're buying in Canada but selling in the US. I
Mm.
don't know what's the thing, this $800 exemption, but now you have to do more in terms of making sure that you're declaring how much value, and then you just have to pay the difference in for the duties piece, I think.
Yes, there's a
Mhm.
duty fee already. So that's something that they need to be aware of. Okay, so if I'm from Toronto, should I find a prep center in Toronto? No, doesn't never necessarily be in Toronto. But if you are doing arbitrage and you want to drop off like retail arbitrage, then yeah. But if you are okay with just online arbitrage, any prep center is okay because everything is online. It's shipped to their warehouse. What's John's email? So John, oh here, John's email address is contact@highestprep.com. And I'm also gonna put it information into, like, when I post this on your replay, I'm going to put the address at the bottom as well. Okay. Can you share photos of your prep center? Maybe Steph, contact them directly. And then maybe John can send you photos. I think they want to make sure that it's legit. Thanks, John, for answering my question. So just curious to know what it looks like. So as you can
Uh-huh.
see, at least you're learning as well that some people, like, they really need to see something, and maybe that's something that you can improve as well. Even just a simple website that you can create so that they
Mhm.
feel more comfortable. So I'm in Saskatoon. Can I use it? So that's Subia.
Yeah,
Saskatoon.
anyone can use our prep center, even though you're from Vancouver, Toronto, Calgary. As long as you're shipping it to us, you can still use our prep center.
Yep, that's very true. So 65 cents per unit or 60 cents.
60 cents.
60
Less than
cents.
5 cents.
That's very cheap, guys. So thank you so much, Shans. Wholesale is okay too for any location of prep center. Yeah, so for wholesale, so the only thing that you need to be aware of is wholesale, you need a delivery fee. Like, you're gonna pay delivery fee, right? So as compared to
Mhm.
arbitrage where they do it for free or 6.95. So with wholesale, if you're doing wholesale to ship it to a prep center, usually you need to pay extra. Correct, John?
Yeah, it's just the same thing as online arbitrage, right? If you buy from a store, it's either like free shipping or you have to pay for shipping. But like I think arbitrage now, like you always get free shipping if you buy a certain amount of units or like certain amount of values now too.
Oh, you can also get free shipping. It depends on the supplier, right?
That's correct. It depends on the supplier because we have I think 5 to 6 brands that we're working with. Everything is free shipping.
Oh, how much is
Mhm.
the minimum order with that?
There's no minimum order for us because like either way, if there's minimum order, we're already purchasing a large amount of units.
I see. That's why they don't tell you. Okay, so
Yeah, and
yes, John,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, like the thing about us as well is if you ever want to do wholesale, right? Or this, you can act like our warehouse as your warehouse, and we'll be happy to give you the picture and like pretty much tell them like, oh yeah, we own this warehouse. That's what other people does too now too, if they don't have a
Okay.
warehouse as well.
Yeah, if they want a proof that you have a warehouse before opening the big account. Okay, hi Cheryl, I'm from Calgary. I really want to start retail arbitrage. I recently launched want to start RA. So if you want, I don't know if you're my student or not, Sidhu, but contact me. If you're not my student, contact me, Cheryl at cherylmarcinek.com, and I can direct you to the right program. Okay, so I'm gonna type my email address here and just message me. Okay, let's finish up because John is really busy. Okay, so contact at highestprep.com is John's email address. Okay, let me just quickly read some more questions and that's it. I'm not gonna accept questions anymore because John really needs to go. Okay, hi John, nice to meet you. I just wanted to ask, how do you shift your mindset when dealing with bigger amount of dollars? What's your mantra to keep taking risk and keeping calm? Which is true, right? That's a big money. So what's your secret to being okay with it?
To be honest with you, I'm a risk taker, and the thing that comes with me being in a young age is that I don't have a lot of responsibilities. So I'm in a young age, like even though I lost all my money right now, I can just get it all back. I don't have responsibilities like families. So every risk that I do is I'm pretty much just risking it all at this point. But yeah, I can just like but with me risking is what I learned from that is like knowledge as well, right? But yeah, it's just that I'm young. I can do whatever I want. I can spend 100K right now. If I lose that, it's a big problem, but I can get back at my foot, you know?
And I
But
think
yeah.
that's actually one of the key to success, right? Like, really you need to overcome the fear, because if
Mhm.
you're always fearful, you'll never get to where you are. Correct?
That's correct. Yeah, but yeah, at the same time, don't be dumb and taking risks. Do your due diligence. Always do your research before taking risks. That's all.
Yeah, so it's a great one. I
Mhm.
do applaud your risk level. I just want to ask how you got your account back. As I watched your previous interview and you mentioned you were banned at first, my account has been banned as well with worth of 2K product. Please advise on how to navigate through this.
To navigate to like how did you get your account banned? Is it to IP compliant or product authenticity compliant?
So let us know, KB, if it's like IP complaint or authenticity. So then maybe Jen can give you a good advice.
Yeah,
Let me see. Yes.
because even though you can't sell on Amazon, You can still sell on Walmart now. There's like a lot of marketplace that you can sell on.
Yeah, authenticity, he said.
Oh, and do you have the receipts and everything? That's the thing, right? You gotta be careful with what products you're buying, making sure that the supplier's authentic and that the product you're buying is authentic too.
So if that's the case, if we have the invoice and then he just need to provide those invoice, so even if it's Walmart or whatever, but it's a reputable store anyway, so you provide. They said I provided all, but they still said no. I guess it depends on the case, whoever is
That's
handling
correct.
your account, correct? Can you
Yeah,
reapply all the
just
time?
yeah, you can always reapply all the time because with this, all because like with ungating as well, you can do it unlimited times too. But yeah, just keep on reapplying. Don't lose hopes because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many times you reapply. I'm pretty sure they'll like it's just volume games at this point. If you have the right customer service that's taking care of it, they'll for sure approve it. If you actually have the right invoice and everything.
Yeah, so he said he applied 5 times now and nothing. So maybe my suggestion is let it rest for a bit and then try again. Maybe review all your paperworks to make sure that everything is there. So from what I've heard, one of the recent students, so they have the receipt, they have the credit card statement, they even put all like the information of the store and everything to be sure that all is there. So reapply once every 24 to 48 hours through though because of bots. So that's what it
Yep.
says. Okay, let's move on. A few more questions before we end. How do you start conversation with a manager to partner with them? What is your thought process? What that first? Let's ask that question first. How do you start conversation with a manager? So do you guys send message first by email or do you call? What's your how do you end up partnering with a
So
company?
how our outreaching model now is just by volume. We are pretty much getting the brand contact information through this software, have 15 contact information within those brand, and then email all of them. So even though like it's not the right position, it's still okay to contact them because if they see your email and they're actually inclined to work with you, they will give you to an actual person that is handling with the wholesale process and account.
Okay. What do you advise to someone who is trying to scale up but have limited funds?
Yeah, as I said again, cash flow, make sure that you're buying the right products and don't go too deep because if you go too deep in one product and that's all your capital, then you can't really do anything. So yeah, just make sure buy with the right amount of quantity and with making sure that you can move it within a month.
Okay. So when do you know it's a good time to replenish a product when you bought 3 or 5 to test? I think this is a simple question, but you can answer it, Jen.
Like here for 5 to 10 products, what we would usually do is if it's like example, like we bought like 10 products just for testing, right?
Mhm.
Then we're gonna test that for like within a month. Then once it's because we have a software that's like seller board, and we would just filter it out with the manufacturing days, which is like how long will it take for us to get the product in hand in our warehouse. Then the prepping days, which is like 1 day, and then like the restock days is 30 days, and then it will let you know how much you need to restock and like when it's due. But yeah, that's what we
Mm-hmm.
use. Mhm.
Okay. Erlinda said, thank you for providing us with an example of being a great entrepreneur. More questions. How do you handle objections from distributors, wholesale, when they say they only sell to brick and mortar store? Do you negotiate with them or you just move on?
Yeah, with wholesale, the main thing that you have to be doing always is objection handling. We would outreach like 100 brands, right? 10 to 20% of them would contact us or respond, and then another half of them will say no, and then half of that would say no. It's always objection handling, saying like what is the reason, and you're pretty much like hearing them out like why they don't want to work with you. Because there's always a
Mm-hmm.
reason. I'm like, oh, Amazon sellers, we had enough of them. They're always breaking brand integrity. They're not like a professional business like to work with, and then that's when you would let them know, okay, we understand you. Here is the services that we provide, and we would like to work with you. It's just objection handles.
Okay, so that's how you do it. And how many brands do you contact? Like a company do you contact every day?
Every day is so we have a system that like I say I think around For each because we have 7 domains, right? This is
Mhm.
okay. I don't want to go too deep
Yeah,
because it's more details, but for each domain, we would contact like 35 brand, and we have seven, so 7 domain. So 35 times 7, it's around 245 brands
a day.
a day. Yes.
Wow. So
So it's like
for those people who don't understand, why do you need to contact that much every day? For them, maybe they cannot grasp it. Why do you need to contact a lot of brands every day?
because that's the thing, right? If you don't have that connections, or like you're not really known to be like you're not really known, or you're still new with this business, the brand doesn't know you yet. So like it's just volume game. If you have like more brands to contact with, then there's a higher chance one brand will say yes, one brand will say no, and if they say no, you just objection handle it. It's just volume games, that's why.
Yeah, so it's basically the same in everything. Like when you are selling, so when you are selling coaching and stuff, they say only 3% will maybe happen, but the rest is a dud. So the more product, the more company you are contacting, the more chance of you getting an account at least. Some of it
Mhm.
will
That's
turn.
correct too. Because with brand direct or like wholesale, even though like you're contacting 245 brands, you open one account within one dose of brand, potentially you can make 3K to 10K net profit monthly on them on
Mm.
those brands. That's why even though it's like a volume game, if you open one account that like you hit a jackpot with, that can potentially set you up.
And this is already automated with a software, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. How much? I think this is the last few question. How much do you pay to your virtual assistant? They're curious of how much do you pay?
We I pay my virtual assistant like $880 monthly. And but we do give them incentive though, because from before it was just like hourly rates, right? Now that every time we open an account, we would give them like a full-time salary of a day if they're the one that sourced the brand or contacted the brand.
Oh, so they're more excited to do it because they get incentives from you. If so, they're basically excited to open an account and try to make it work because they get
That's
something
correct.
extra. That's very good way
I
of doing
also
it.
give them a payday. So like example,
Mm-hmm.
if they have a holiday in the Philippines, they don't need to work. It's like it's paid already.
Okay,
And
the
also like
same.
holiday as well.
Question, do you do 13-month pay?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's like you get
that's nice
like
of you.
is it like half like of the salary within a month, or like just a full-time salary
Depends on
within?
how expensive it is. For example, for me, like with my VA, I only pay 500, so I give 500 extra on December.
Oh, okay.
So you do
But
half?
yeah, I think we did 880 of like after 13 months of working with me. I think I
Hmm.
did that because that's what I just saw on the Reddit and I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
followed it.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
either way,
so yes. Okay, last question. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I'm just saying either way, like giving them $800, 880 monthly is still cheap considering like that, like if you were to hire here in Canada, like you're paying like triple to quadruple the price.
Yeah, and what you're making now is nothing like that's nothing as an expense to what the value that they're giving you. They're making your life so easy for a fraction of what you make, right? Last two questions maybe. Okay, so question in relation to opening wholesale account. What can you advise if example you applied to a wholesaler and got denied? Would you go back to applying again to them after making a company website? So
So
basically, before they don't have website and then they get denied, couldn't you reapply again?
is this for application and they say no? If
Yes.
that's the case, then wait for 3 months and then follow up again and then have a plan of like how you will outreach them saying, okay, this is what we do, and be professional. If your backend setup is good and everything, then it's good to provide to them, and then that will give you more a chance of opening the brand account or like wholesale.
Okay. So
And also,
success.
okay,
Yes.
go ahead. Yeah, and also if you know what the product you're buying and you're just applying for a wholesale that's a distributor, for distributor it's transactional based. If you know what product you want to buy already, make a purchase order of that, and then and then let them know this products that I want to buy and the amount of units, and there you go. That would give you more higher chance of opening the account.
So basically, what you're saying is that if it's only a distributor or a wholesale company, you just basically don't say that I'm applying, you just say that I'm buying this X amount of product from you, like how much do I need to pay? Something like that, that it becomes like you're just purchasing and then you build the relationship from there, correct?
That's correct. Because like distributor, they just want your money at the end of the day, right? But brand
Yeah.
direct, they want money, but at the end of the day, they wanna have that relationship with you as too.
Mm-hmm. Someone is asking here about your prep center. I missed what is included in the 60 cents. Is packaging material and labeling material included? And then we pay
Um,
separately for the shipping from the prep center to an Amazon fulfillment center. Can you reiterate what's included with the 60 cents? Which one is not included there? And for the shipping from prep center to Amazon, you need to pay for it. That's for sure.
that's so for the 60 cents, the thing that's included is the FNSQ. That's already included for the 60 cents. And then for the materials like polybag, the wrap, it's going to cost you like extra fee, but for our materials, it's like dirt cheap as well. Because for the prep center with others, like we saw the pricing, they're pretty much marking up 10 times. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so with Eugenia is asking, is Philippines the only place with experienced VA? So not really. So if you go to Upwork, there's different nationality there. So there's a lot of them. Popular ones are Filipinos, Pakistani, Indians, I think. So, but like for example, with John, because he's from the Philippines, so he's more comfortable with Filipino. It's up to you. You can either, if you want only Filipino, then go to onlinejob.ph. It's very similar as well. So it's all focused on Filipino VA. Okay. So were you paying the amount to your very first VA at the beginning when you did arbitrage? I guess like how much did you start? 500?
What do you mean by 500?
How much did you pay again your VA? Like monthly?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So when I hired my virtual assistant, I was looking to hire for a full time. So I was pretty much paying her like $5.50 hourly. And that would come around like $880. But yes, that's her rates. And that's how
Canadian,
much I've been paying
right?
her. That's correct.
Okay, yeah. So with me, I pay USD, so that's very similar as well. Yeah, and but do you increase every year?
We don't increase every year, but the incentive is the one that's like making them like have a good salary. Because with incentive, I'm pretty sure they're like getting paid like $6, and next month they would be like $8.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
So if they opened like 10 accounts or something that did well, so 6 times 10 would be the extra money
Mhm.
for them. Okay. So that's it. I think we asked all the questions. Thank you so much for lending us your time, John. So you gave us so much insights, not just for arbitrage, but for wholesale. Keep doing what you're doing, and I wish you luck. I wish you the best. And I know that you're going to be one of the most successful, not just on Amazon, but for sure even outside Amazon. And I can't wait to get updated with you from time to see where
Mhm.
you are. And I hope I can bring some business to you too in return to what you did today. I'm gonna try to see if some of the students are interested in signing up on your prep center. Okay, so thank you so much
Mhm.
and have a good day.
Thank you so much again, Cheryl, and thank you
Thank
everyone for having
you.
me.